In the sport of football is very rough, but people don't realize how rough it can be. Like, they see, oh look, it's just two guys running into each other. They're just gonna get up, dust off the dust, and play another down.
It's rough physically, but also it's rough mentally because it's time consuming. But football has its physical repercussions. Like, I never thought in a million years I would be injured in several places of my body or break several parts of my body. Like, for instance, I remember 8th grade, tore my oblique muscle. Freshman year, broke my wrist. Sophomore year in college, I have tendonitis on my knee. I feel like I'm 30 years old.
But it comes with the position that he plays. He's a defense player. He played linebacker in high school, played safety and cornerback in college. So they cause most of the collision. Unlike myself, I play offense. I was a running back, and now I'm a receiver, so I try to evade most of the contact. But I feel like the worst injury I've ever received from the sport was I tore my MCL ligament on my right knee twice in high school. And the second time I tore it was my senior year, and that was the worst one because I was being looked at by a couple schools to play football, but I tore my knee week 6 of my senior year against Grapevine High School. I remember pass protecting for about 3 plays, and then a lineman comes out of nowhere and chop blocks the back of my knee. And my knee completely blows out. I think my football career is over. I'm bawling hysterically because I feel like what I've worked for 4 years is now going down the drain. But I felt like I can't just give up now. Like, with football, it teaches you that it teaches you heart and determination. And you never want to quit. So I remember after tearing my knee, I went through a couple of days of rehab, and I still played the next following week. I had duct tape wrapped around my knee with a knee blade.
That's Texas football for
knee blade, just so that my knee could stay tight. And I still ended up getting 200 yards that game, 2 touchdowns.
Like he said, football really does teach us how to become perseverance, or how to gain perseverance, I should say. Because although I listed the several injuries I have, I'm still playing football to this day because I love it. It's something that, ironically, I was born to do.
People question that all the time. They're like, you guys know what's going to happen. You guys know the injuries and the repercussions.
But that's the thing.
Why do you do it anyway? And my response is, it's what I love to do. When you love to do something, it doesn't matter about the cons. You can list this many cons, and I can list this many pros. And at the end of the day, it's something that I love to do. It helps me stay grounded, and it helped me gain an education.
But
ever since we even started playing sports, even before, like soccer, me and my brother have always been on the opposite side of the field. And more so, we did that to compete against each other, to see who, it was always to see who was the better twin. Competition, who was going to outdo who.
Like I said earlier, like, I really didn't want to be in his shadow, so the greatest way to be out of somebody's shadow is going against them and trying to belittle them any way you can.
Like Ric Flair says, in order to be the man, you gotta beat the man. So when we started playing football, I played offense just because I'm the kind of guy that wants the glory, the guy who wants everyone to cheer for, the guy who scores the points for his team.
And the guy was talking a lot about himself right now.
And my brother is the guy
that tries
to stop that. He wants to be the enforcer. He wants to be the bruiser. He wants to make sure that you're feeling every pain that he felt.
See, this is like a natural thing that twins have. One twin wants to feel superior, so it's the duty of the other twin to bring him down to size. See how ironic that is? He wants to be Mr. Showmanship, and I'm trying to be the guy to bring him down to size, you know? So no matter what sport we played, it was always offense versus defense. He was the offensive-minded guy. I was the defensive-minded guy.
I played striker, and when I played soccer, he played
defensive
halfback. So it goes way back. But going back to football, like, I feel like the reason why my brother moved to the defensive side was also because of playing time.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we first started playing football, he was my backup as running back. And not to brag or anything, but I got most of the reps during my career at my high school, Keller High School. And my senior year comes along and my coach is like, we're going to feed your brother the ball most of the time just to get him looked at by schools.
Which I thought was BS because, mind you, it took this guy 3 games to score his first and only touchdown, and it took me 1 measly play.
But we're going ahead of ourselves. That's not even the point. That's not the point because JV season, freshman season, I had 20 touchdowns each season. So like going into junior year, my first varsity start, my coach is like, okay, Nmandi's going to get most of the playing time as running back, and we'll sprinkle in Dozie whenever Nmandi gets tired. That didn't work so much our junior season because we ended up going 3-7, and I ended up with a lousy season of just 500 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. So my senior season comes along, my brother has moved to the defensive side as a linebacker, and I'm given the bulk of all the carries for the offensive side. And when I heard that, I kind of took it upon myself to be better because I knew my brother wasn't going to pick up the slack for me. I can't make any more excuses for all the wrong that I did, and I knew that I needed to step up my game in order for us, or in order for me to be a better player. And at the end of my senior season, I was only running back under my current coach right now to rush over 1,000 yards, and I had 10 touchdowns total. And I feel like those stats alone kind of helped us get to Fordham because a lot of schools were looking more at me than my brother because of the things that I've done in high school.
You know, like, I feel like it was just bad timing. I'm not going to badmouth anybody, but like, honestly, I really felt like I should have stayed at running back because I felt like I was ready to showcase what I had, but unfortunately things happened. I played a position that you really wouldn't expect a 5'6", 155-pound football player to play. So I'm really proud of all the things that he did, and yes, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here, but at the same time I felt like I had so much to prove.
And it's crazy though, because even when I was getting most of the playing time, like back in high school, I felt like I needed to do it for him too, just for the fact that if I was going to make it, I knew he was going to make it, because I wouldn't let him fail at all. It was just that mentality of me being an older brother and looking out for my own. So again, like when I took the knee, like when I excelled in high school, I didn't see it as me being the best because I didn't do it by myself, trust me. I had him keep me on my toes, compete for the same position I was competing for. Even when he moved to defense, coaches would put us against each other just to see the competitive edge, to see who would get the competitive edge.
They always called it the dinner at the showdown at the dinner table, I'm sorry.
And you wouldn't understand it, but during practice, my brother would actually punk me a couple times. He would hit me so hard and bring me down to reality, but I felt like nobody was going to hit me as hard as he's going to hit me. So I've already got the worst part of the beat down. So let me just go ahead and play my game. And I took that mentality and just ran with it, literally. Nobody could stop me. So